So dear, let's start. So the chat is working. So this is my phone stage. Sometimes can you hear us now? I see your message. So if you have any troubles, please indicate it in the chat. We will check it. So welcome to Zambia, welcome to Russian House in Lusaka. And today we're here to discuss the full of issues connected with STEM plus entrepreneurship ecosystem. So our mission is to bring to Zambia more knowledge, more competence in this area, and also build bridge between STEM professionals in Russia and in Zambia. So today, in the center of our discussion are 7 points you see on the screen. And let me invite for opening remarks Director of Russian House in Lusaka, Mr. Alexander.
Добрый день, коллеги.
Good morning, colleagues.
Я приветствую всех участников этого мероприятия.
Welcome all participants of this event.
Да, и хотел бы несколько специфичных ремарок, которые, с моей точки зрения, существенны для нашего временного понимания дальнейших шагов, принципов и задач, которые мы видим перед этим.
I would like just to do a few opening remarks that I think are important for our future cooperation. Few points and information that I would like to learn.
1,5 года назад приехал в Замбию по линии Россотрудничества как директор центра и убедился в том, что есть отдельные точки в области образования в Замбии, которые представляют значительный интерес для подготовки кадров на будущее для Замбии.
A year and a half ago, I came to Zambia and as the representative of Russia-Zambia, the director of the Russian House here in Zambia, and I was impressed to find that a number of centers established that are aimed at promoting STEM.
Убедился в том, что движение, которое 3 года назад только началось практически в Замбии по продвижению STEM обучения, имеет здесь очень большие перспективы. И, честно говоря, уже по этому пути пошли наши, так скажем, коллеги, конкуренты из Китая.
I was impressed that the number of what's this STEM direction that some of the schools have taken was a good direction to take, and
So our colleagues from China are already doing a lot of important things in the STEM system of Zambia.
Фактически система STEM в Замбии готовит будущую элиту Замбии. И замбийскую элиту, да, совершенно верно. И хотел бы отметить, что одной из существенных задач Россотрудничества является работа с элитой и подготовка кадров, в том числе и по воле России на обучение, а также по заявкам самих Замбии.
Okay, so it was a big look, but the essence is that the main target of one of the main targets of Russia-Zambia is working with the country for building new level of competence. There are some programs on this frame. One of it is the selection of the best students for studying in Russian universities due to quota of Russian Federation government. And also we are working directly with universities, trying to find and prepare the best students who are ready to study and motivated to study in Russian and have enough knowledge to do that on a good level.
Мы встретились уже с записками школы, где готовятся ребята по линии STEM.
We started an initiative of building direct bridges between STEM schools in Zambia. There are 12, as we know, special STEM schools in Zambia, and we started an initiative build direct bridge between each of these STEM schools and the best technical universities for Russia.
Ну и, соответственно, мы хотим повернуть внимание STEM здесь на обучение их студентов в России, помочь им и методическую работу, и в том числе продвигать, конечно, наше российское образование в Замбии.
So we see here both beneficial directions. First, we promote Russian education, high level of Russian technical education here in Zambia. And also we support sharing of methods, sharing of experience in teaching STEM from West Russian universities to STEM schools in Zambia. So our first step was build the agreement and build the agreement between Siavoka STEM School and Moscow Power Engineering Institution.
Хотел бы в заключение сказать, что это существенная, с моей точки зрения, нужная работа, которую надо проводить, и мы делаем первый шаг в этом работе.
I believe this work is one of first priorities of our work here in Zambia, and later today we are doing first step on this level when we discussing ecosystem of STEM, and also when we have significant participants from both sides.
В ноябре прошлого года было проведено большое мероприятие вместе с органами власти в Замбии, в котором принимали участие молодежь, в основном девочки, которые учатся в STEM-школах в Замбии.
We had good experience here Ngoy in November on 2020. We together with government institutions and ministries of Zambia, we as a partner we made STEM for girls forum here in Zambia.
Ну и после этого мероприятия руководство в Москве наше Россотрудничество, и мы убедились в том, что работу эту надо начинать, и замбийская страна тоже готова.
After this event, we realized and we were supported by headquarters of Russia-Zambia in Moscow for this work, and evaluation of this work is significantly important for our mission here.
Теперь я хотел бы передать спасибо за внимание, и я хотел бы передать слово нашему модератору.
Thank you for your attention, and let's start. So do we have here Mr. Ngoy? Yeah, Mr. Ngoy here. What yes?
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mr. Ngoy.
Good morning. Okay, my sound is a little bit poor. I can hardly hear. So I'm not sure if it's my time to speak or not.
We also have some remarks in the chat that the sound is very, very low. We can hear you well, yeah, but looks like we're not good. with sound.
Okay, so
Okay.
should I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, and good morning, everyone. Let me start with acknowledging the director, Russian House Lusaka, and the programs coordinator, and the delegates at large. We are all here for a very important cause today. And I believe STEM is the reason we are here. And it's the reason that each and every one of us can progress even further. The Zambian National STEM Foundation is an initiative that contributes to the conclusive effort to improve the quality of STEM content that we pass on to the future generations. As our nation, Zambia, continues to progress, much effort must be placed on the educational investment in our people. Through our 7th National Development Plan, we aim to improve the livelihood of our citizens, diversify our economy, and explore other strategic areas of opportunity for our nation. At the backbone of many of these developmental efforts in STEM, and in order to harness Zambia's resource potential, we must invest in STEM to ensure that we exploit what we have and ensure its continuity. The obligation to provide better livelihood is not a charge resting on the government of the day alone, but a charge that each and every citizen must take ownership of. And our investments can only come to fruition through the conclusive effort of all stakeholders. The onus is on each and every one of us in this room today to realize that we are all responsible for the development of STEM. As we bear witness to the Industrial Revolution, we must adapt ourselves and our technology to what the future is, tools to compete in, and not passively accept it. We need to be key players in STEM to give rise to the indigenous technologies, which will ultimately create new and meaningful opportunities we can proudly take ownership of. We need to encourage the big dreamers and show them that Zambia is accommodative of their ideas, for our learners to believe in the ambition and audacity of STEM. The potential of our nation provides us with a unique opportunity to grow the curious and brilliant minds of our generation, such that learners know that it's not simply a duty to be educated, but an act of patriotism. And in order for our industries to grow, we must invest in research and development. And in order to go beyond adapting existing technologies and into developing our own homegrown ideas, patented and adopted in the world at large. So the Ministry of Education, through the National Science Center, committed to the development of STEM in Zambia. They recently launched the National Science Center headquarters in the year 2020, which will serve as a hub for the development of STEM in Zambia. Not only so, but they have also launched STEM schools, which will focus on training learners to take up the diverse career opportunities that exist in STEM. So the Zambian National STEM Foundation has been closely working with them in increasing the efforts towards development of STEM in Zambia. Many of the challenges we face in this nation will require brilliant minds to find creative and workable solutions. People lie at the backbone of economic activity, and the quality of the knowledge given to them is a determining factor in whether we succeed or fail. The scientific method provides us with thinkers and problem solvers, and a mindset that is absolutely necessary in order to realize the positive change we seek. And application of STEM will bridge the equality gaps that the world seeks to address through the African Union 2063 agenda, and of course, the Sustainable Development Goals. So, to you, the private sector, through your corporate social responsibilities, continue to accommodate social enterprises such as these. Your participation in this charge is not passive, but incredibly cardinal in improving the status quo. The growth of your businesses depend on innovative thinking and creativity in this vein. So learners are inspired every day by just merely seeing that you exist. We must continue to accommodate them and show the inner workings of how STEM has built and encouraged the growth of your organizations. We cannot bridge the educational divide without the private sector. It's practically impossible. The responsiveness of consumers and demands of the growing global market is directly linked to the corporate sector. As we gravitate towards the inevitable economic revolution, we need to keep abreast with the demands of the day. Our surest way to ensure that we can contend on the playing field is to work closely with the private sector in providing learners with modern tools and information. Continue to reinvest in communities in which you work. Let it be a key principle in your binding. For many of you present here, your work is one way or another benefited drastically from STEM-centered innovation. Not only so, but our day-to-day lives would otherwise be highly inefficient without STEM. In order for us to expand our market reach, we must invest in STEM to ensure that we too can be pioneers in new and unexplored fields. Zambia has the potential to compete in this new economic wave, and we must make a conclusive and concerted effort to realize this. This is not an independent feat. It is very important that we identify all the players in the sector and see how we can work together with a common goal. Well, alone you move fast, quite all right, but together we move further. And being here at this Roundtable Summit is a very clear spectacle of this fact. So the Zambian National STEM Foundation exists to promote STEM education and skills building in Zambia. And to this effect, we will be hosting the first annual STEM Awareness Conference on the 24th and 25th of September 2021. And we are very happy to be here. And we will continue to work with the Russian House, provide support where necessary as they execute their agenda as well. And we look forward to having a long-term partnership and see how both organizations can work together and mutually benefit. I thank you so much for this opportunity, and I submit. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Munga. It's great to know that such powerful and strong foundation you have here in the country, and yes, we all have common understanding of power of STEM education and STEM practices, STEM application for country development. Thank you very much. So we now come to our first session. We have two sessions today. First session is focused on STEM in education. But as you already understand, our roundtable discussion together will be not only focused on education, but also on STEM applications, because we are thinking about building STEM ecosystem here in the country. How to build it together. But yes, STEM education is number one in this area. I am very pleased to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Masamba, who is nuclear education program coordinator in Africa, and also a lecturer of one of the best technical universities of Russian history. So, Dr. Kak, please join us with your presentation.
Good morning, dear colleagues, dear friends, students, officials. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we do.
Yes. Excellent.
Okay. Excellent. I want to show a presentation, so please organize share the screen for me. Hello, dear.
There are
Can you-
one, yes. So we admin, so you can share now.
Okay, great. Can you see it well?
Yes.
Yes, we
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So my name is Massam Baka. I represent National University of.
the sound is gone.
From where several institutions developed as the technology progressed. 1918, this is the first year after the revolution, very serious industrial challenges compared to European countries which have well advanced, especially metallurgical technologies, which were the backbone of the economy then. So the decision was made to create the Mining Academy. It was actually a branch of Krakow Mining Academy here in Moscow, from where, as the technology developed, several key institutions for the Soviet and then Russian economy that developed. First of all, the faculties of geology came into a separate university. Then Institute of Ferrous and Non-Ferrous Metallurgy came to be known as MISIS. MISIS is an acronym for Moscow Institute of Steel and Alloys. The Petroleum and Gas faculty developed into a separate institution, Petroleum Institution, and then PET Institute also developed into a separate school. So as you can see, as soon as you start to really deploy your mineral resources, these obvious applications come into being and then establish as independent bodies. The university has been training foreign nationals in the field of material science for specific governmental programs for those countries who are willing and wishing to establish their material and mineral sector industry. So by the 80s, there were strong scientific schools already established that were not only serving for the industry and the industrialization of the country, but already competing with the world-leading scientific schools in the sciences of these fields. And in a new era, the university acquired the status of National Research University. It was the first university to get that status. And currently, the university is affiliated with over 1,600 industrial companies. It has more than 30 scientific laboratories. It's a well international established atmosphere and environment. So it's definitely a global university, I would say, comparative and comparable to equivalents in the USA, Europe, Japan, China, and so on, which we have many partners with. This is in Russian. From our first engagement in Africa, in terms of the 5100 program, apologies, this is a Russian slide, but here what we see is that 5100 program, namely that 5 Russian universities are supposed to enter top 100 universities in the world by the year 2020. The program finished last year. One of the parameters was the number of international students in the university. So we started visiting these countries, Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, Namibia, Zambia, and noticed that every time we came to distribute scholarships for the technical specialties, the number of students increased by a factor of 2. Which showed definite interest of the youth towards technical Russian education. We were in partnership with Moscow Power Engineering Institute. The colleagues present here, they will present shortly today. So we developed a consortium which is called Time to Study in Russia. And through the engagement with the local authorities, Russian Cultural Center in Lusaka, which we are friends with for many years now, and universities, local universities, established a framework of partnership which consists of several different organizations. Normally, leading universities of the country, a Ministry of Education, and profile ministries. For our profile, this is mining, material science, and metallurgy. And through the interaction of these with these organizations, we have realized that there is a gap between the industry and the universities in the countries which we were partnering with. What I mean is that the universities are somewhat detached by standards of local or maybe international companies that are usually employing experts from abroad, and this results in high salaries, low taxes, and very little knowledge and skills retained in the country in the country by the local people. So we realized this gap and proposed this framework of industrial educational partnership, where we offer to the universities joint programs or collaborative programs to align the curriculum and align the educational programs towards the industry, to make the industry to be able to tap into the resource of the university as it is here in Misis. And to the industrial companies, we provide services such as staff training, qualification upgrade, technical solutions, research and development solutions that also help companies to save money, optimize their production processes, and so on. So in a way, this is a program that allows to localize the technology through this engagement of university and industrial company. We had very good connections in Zambia with Copperbelt University, University of Zambia, where we looking into some areas of collaboration. And Ministry of Education of Zambia, of course, we have taken several groups of students for what is called strategic student recruitment, where we are not just giving them standard academic curriculum. We're also teaching them how to actually organize a double degree program, what goes into practical side of things. And we try to push for them to have practical sessions in the industry relevant to what the company or the country or even the region is facing in terms of mining, metallurgy, and material science as a challenge at the moment, so that they could come and their skill sets are not only theoretical but practical and totally applicable when it comes to actual industrial experience. So the model that we propose is as follows.
1 minute remaining.
Of course, we have a number of companies in Russia, number of universities that we work with, and we can affiliate with a number of African universities and companies to create a consortium where we can take the needs and challenges of the industries that they're currently facing in mineral resource and develop strategic programs with both technical solutions and staff training, so that the technology is localized and continued as it is here in Russia, because mineral resource area is well developed, and now we are going into environmental management, which ensures that the environment is not so much damaged and the lands can be used and the nature, the wilderness are not affected, which is very, very key for African countries which have untapped natural resources. So that's all from me. These are my contacts. If anything, if you have any questions, please ask now or send me an email. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Raf. Thank you for great presentation. Thank you for sharing your competence. So we have 10 minutes time for all of our speakers, maybe a bit more for next speaker, because I'd like to invite Professor Valery Echko from our Power Engineering Institution, and we know that he is author of a very serious teaching.
Hello.
Teaching book.
Good morning. Yeah.
We presented the book to STEM school in Siavonga, and so we please, Professor Echko, share with us like main steps we have to do to teach STEM well.
Yes. Good morning, my dears. My name is Professor Valery Echko from Moscow Power and Engineering Institute. It is a technical university. Our university has a large, rich experience in the field of STEM education. We use this technology 25 years, from 1996. What is STEM? Yeah. We can say not only STEM by STEAM and STREAM. In this slide, you can see what is the STEM technology. And I have said that we have a rich experience in this field. For example, we have published two very interesting books in Russian, Физико-математические этюды смарт-карт интернет, and in English. It is very interesting book in English, 23 problems for STEM education. In this book, we collected a lot of problems, a lot of tasks in the field of STEM education, in mathematics, in physics, and thermodynamic, hydrodynamic, and so on and so on. Yeah, I can say a little about the 7 main futures of STEM education's technology. At first, in our classes in STEM education, we use a lot of previous and parallel training courses in our STEM education classes. For example, our students are learning high mathematics and physics, and parallel in the classes, in computer classes, we can carry out these problems in mathematics and physics using second feature, modern mathematical programs. You understand that STEM education is not only mathematics, physics, engineering, and so on, but it is using of modern information technology. In modern information technology, we use a modern mathematical package. For example, Maple Flow. Pardon. Maple Flow, it is very interesting new product. Mathematica, MatCat, Russian version of MatCat S-Month, and so on, and so on. Then our student during studying in the field of STEM education use internet, including professional social network. For example, when our student must solve one problem, he can go to the professional social network and put his problem on this network, and he has a possibility to discuss about this problem with people over the world. Then we can use real physical experiments before we solve this task by using modern mathematical packages as Maple Flow, and so on. I will show this very interesting feature of STEM education. Yeah. Then our student when they has STEM classes can must create a lot of graphical objects in style of 3D graphics and with animation. Then we are using a very interesting modern methods of solving problems for using not only analytical methods and not only numerical methods, but in hybrid, we can use and analytical and numerical methods. And 7, I can shift we use in our classes not only mathematics, physics, and so on, but but art too. For example, we are searching a very interesting problems in Russian and world literature, and we can solve these problems for novels from novels Russian and word writer, and we are solving this problem in our classes. For example, now we are preparing a very interesting books with the name Leo Tolstoy and Mathematics. And I can say all of this problem we are collected in this book, and I can send the email for our participant on the site of this book. A lot of not 20 not only 32 problems are collected in this scheme, but very other problems in this book. For example, I can show one example of 3D graphics, 3D plot. This plot is collected, was created our student by solving the problem of optimization of the work, of steam turbine and steam boiler. We must find optimal point on this plot, optimal regime of work of this unit, Very interesting task. I know, for example, there is very interesting American film, Armageddon. One object coming to the Earth, and we know 5 coordinates of this comet, of this asteroid, yeah, and it is Earth. What was happened? What is trajectory of this asteroid? Near of the Earth or direct in the Earth? Must we send a team on this asteroid to explore this asteroid? Yeah, we can use to solving this task mathematics, for example, linear algebra. Parallel our STEAM classes, we have classes in mathematics, and in mathematics we use methods of linear algebra for solving these tasks. And when we can solve this task, we can draw this trajectory of this asteroid. It is a result of solving of 5 linear algebra equations. For example, medicine, you can create a model of human kidneys in maple, and then we can modeling tomography process in medicine and physics. It is very easy. Then we can use, in Russian, we can use special professional networks for solving our task. For example, one student can put his problem on professional solving and solve this problem not aligned, but with a team, with people over the world. It is very interesting experiment. 2 students of high school, it is not university. I work not only in my university, but in the high school at our university. It is very interesting problem with chain. What is the function? Describe this chain. We can take picture of this experiment, and then we can put this picture in the ecosystem paint, and we can get coordinates of these points. Yeah? And then, with help of modern mathematical packages, we can find the catenary the function of the chain of this experiment. What is the function of this 5 point on the chain? It is catenary. It is a very interesting first step to the design of way in the mountain, yeah, with catenary, yeah.
Sorry, 1 minute remaining.
Vivita, sorry, 1 minute, yeah? 1 minute. Yeah. Oh, for example, yeah, it is one model of tomography of the process of search of man, yeah, and so on, yeah. And I can say one more that our university has a rich experience in the field of STEM technology, and we can help through our literature, through our courses, help to people in Africa, in Zambia, to have this course in your university. Here, thank you very much for your attention, and you can get here my address for contacts. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor. And our next speaker is Abraham Ngoy, Assistant Dean of School of Engineering from University of Zambia. So do you need screen sharing, Professor Ngoy?
No, one moment.
Yeah.
No, at the moment, I think I'll send my presentation at a later stage. I'm still working on it. I think we can proceed with the next presenter.
Okay, but so you will send it later, and now you will not have
sorry.
share some.
Yes. Sorry about that. I just received the invitation at a later stage.
Okay. So waiting for your presentation then.
Okay.
So, but anyway, let me invite the speaker from Zambian side, as we already discussed with Professor Ruke. So next speaker will be Miss Lucy Ngoy, Director of STEM International School from Zambia. Lucy.
Yes, good morning and greetings to everybody on the team. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. My name is Lucy Ngoy. I'm an educator for over 30 years now. And over the last 10 years, we have put a great focus on STEM education. And my discussion today is the prerequisites of a successful STEM career. And one of the things that we have found in our industry is that a lot of focus is placed at the tertiary level. And while that is a good thing for the tertiary level, my promotion and focus has been on the elementary level, as far back as kindergarten. With 10 years of experience in Kenya and now launched in Zambia, and a few students in Rwanda, one of the things that we are looking to develop is to create the skills of STEM success. And when we are looking at the skills of STEM success, we are looking at enabling and teaching our children from a very young age to be able to focus on the skills that these subjects teach. For example, creativity, learning skills for the 21st century, to be creative. And the creativity can start as low down as the game they're going to play with their 5-year-old friend, or what rules they can modify. We are requiring them to be critical thinkers, to be able to see how they can make something look different from what they have started with. And we do this with simple things like trips to the national park. What did you see? What can you change if you had an opportunity to change? And so basically, we are pushing for children from a very young age to be involved in thinking, but thinking at the lowest level where they are at. In the 10 years that we have had, the best way that we have found to do this is by offering a K-12 curriculum that does not focus on a final assessment, but instead we are able to teach the skills in a manner that is practical through project-based learning. One of our favorite experiences over the last 10 years is what we call Innovation Thursday. And on Innovation Thursday, we get the children in the different nations to get into groups virtually, and they start to solve simple problems. We had one year where the children had to solve the simple problem of keeping the school tidy during the rain season and to avoid having the muddy situation. And they designed this beautiful shoe rack, but I noticed that the shoe rack had different box sizes. And at first I thought that the man that created them had not understood what the children had told him. And the children later said, but Miss Lucy, our boots are of different sizes. And these are simple things, but the children were able to see them as they were taught to brainstorm, as they were taught to work together, as they were taught to work with adults who are going to help them through the project, so hence collaboration. They were able to critically solve the problem of keeping the school building free from mud during the rain season. And so for me, my plea, and I'm so honored to be on this panel, is to continue to ask for more people to join us at the elementary level, to create technology opportunities at the ground level, scholarship opportunities for children to attend STEM schools, teacher trainings at the primary, elementary, primary, middle, and high school level, so that we are better positioned to prepare for you, these children, at a very young age, and irrespective of where they might transition, they will be able to take this capability of thinking and solving problems and creating solutions at every level of their lives, whether it is personal, whether it is academic, whether it is at national level, whether it is in the university level, whether it is in the industrial level. Our success in the movement of STEM from our 10 years of experience is going to be extremely effective if we can go back to the grassroots level. Science and math have been taught in the schools for many years, and we've all gone through that. But with the internet, all the information is on the website. And so we have to get to the point where we now teach children not so much what you know, but how can you use what you know to be able to make the changes that are going on. We had a young group of 6th graders who had the privilege of pimping up a bicycle. And it wasn't until then that I realized that bicycles don't have rear view mirrors, because they created rear view mirrors on their bicycle. They created an upright seat that has a backrest. They created a box on the bicycle where you could put your things during raining season. But these were solutions to a very simple situation that is so prevalent and common in our African continent. And so in the different countries of Africa, while we are not ready to go to the extremes of Mars and the moon and land satellites in different places, we need to develop a thinking culture in our continent, and the STEM skills are a perfect way to be able to do that. So even as in Zambia, they have worked on bringing STEM into the schools, which is still undergoing different governmental understandings. My encouragement to the Russian Center is to continue to work with us at the elementary level. We will prepare for you the man and woman power to be able to present at the university level. It is a much easier way to get even the girl child involved. In our 10 years of experience, girl and boy children don't even realize they should know different things, because when you introduce it at the elementary level, it becomes second nature to them. They don't do science because they're a girl. They do science because it needs to be done, and they can think through it and they can walk through it. And we have experienced very, very good success and confidence in this area. So, with that said, briefly, because of the respect of the time factor that we have, my encouragement is meet us at the elementary level, meet us at the teacher training level, and we will be in a position to impact Africa and impact Africa to be in a thinking capacity continent, and we will be able to impact the future of the world. We have known from many entrepreneurs and stakeholders that when Africa gets to where it can influence its own change, then it will also influence the world. So thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you for everybody that is here and the roles that you play. Mine is continuing to emphasize, please meet us at the elementary level. Take care. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ngoy. It was a powerful speech. It was really powerful speech. Thank you for bringing it on our roundtable. So idea of young STEM education and creativity, applications of STEM are really, really what we are thinking about when we are trying to think about ecosystem, not only about higher education in STEM specialties. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you know that each school of Zambia can find partner university from Russia for teachers trainings and for like direct connections. So you can choose from universities you meet today on our roundtable. Thank you again. So, and now, and we come to our final speaker on STEM and education panel, Professor Artem Rukin, Vice Rector of International Relations, Tomsk State University. Tomsk is situated in Siberia. It's like 5 hours flight from Moscow, but everyone in Russia and many people in the world know that Tomsk is one of the center of technical education's application investigations in Russia. So I'm very happy that Professor Rukin is with us today. So please, stage is yours.
Hello, dear colleagues. May I have the screen now?
It's share. So you admin now, you can share.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Could you see my presentation now?
Not yet. Ah, yes, we are here.
Okay. So, okay, it's full screen now. Can I start?
Yes, please. You have 15 minutes.
Thank you. If I may, first I would like to correct you because my name is Rikun. It's a Ukrainian name, not Rukin. And well, I'm very happy to have an opportunity to speak to the STEM community in Zambia, because we are not exactly old-timers in Africa. We have only 35 students from Africa right now, but we have students from Zambia, and they are actually at STEM block now. This is, by the way, our main building. The university was opened in 1888, and for many years remained the only institution of higher education in the huge territory of Siberia, from the Urals to the Pacific Ocean. And we are fully comprehensive institution. We have everything but medical doctors. We do not grant medical doctors diplomas, but all the rest we do have. To start with, I would like to show you our current rankings. And that's what we can offer for our students from all over the world, and Zambia in particular. We have all levels of education, bachelor and master and PhD, and we of course have short-term training in many subjects, not in all, but in most of them, and some could be offered on demand. So if we have any particular interest, for instance, in robotics or quality management or applied math or computer science applied or short training courses from 1 month to a semester to a year, and we could provide that. So you see, we have a number of faculties which offer STEM, and I would like to say a few words about one of them. It's actually not a faculty, it's an inter-faculty program with the abbreviation TISP. It's Tomsk International Science Program. It was developed together with the University of Maastricht in the Netherlands. And we have half of the staff at the program from Maastricht and half from TSU. They have 4 main tracks there: mathematics, physics, chemistry, and life sciences. For first 2 years, they have the general pool of subjects, and only then after the 2 years, they split into the tracks they choose. This serves 2 purposes. Actually, they can improve or catch up the deficiencies from the high school education, which happens a lot in this area. And on the other hand, they can develop their own interest in continuing their studies. So they choose quite deliberately after the 2nd year what to do, chemistry or biology. And after that, they of course can enter the master programs, which you can see here. So most of our faculties do have all levels. And besides, we of course have the dissertation councils. So those familiar with Russian educational system know. We have PhD, we have Kandidatska, and we have what they still call in Germany and the Netherlands Dr. Habilitatis programs. So you can do all these things at our university. And all this is available for international students. All our programs do have analogs open to foreign students. And we have a number of programs offered in English, 10 programs on 10 master and 3 bachelor, including higher IT school, which is one of the best IT schools in Russia. It's totally in English. And besides, we have pre-university course, which takes 1 year. And students can learn Russian there and continue in Russian if they choose to stay with us. Here is the way to register at our university. Well, actually, these particular students are not from Zambia. Only the girl is from Zambia, but the guys are from elsewhere, I think from Nigeria, because we have the bulk of African students from Nigeria. And actually, I will send the presentation to the Russian Center. All the contacts will be available there. And now I would like to say a few words about how we did react to the online education and some benefits, which might sound paradoxically, but we actually got some benefits from the situation and developed the ways to continue our education with the new opportunities. We created the digital environment, retrained most of our teachers and professors, and created the databases. You can see at the right bottom part of the screen the titles of our parts of our website, for instance, Lesson on the Coach, which contains all the devices, how to work in, how to teach, how to communicate with the students in the online situation. And digital teacher tools, the same, their advices and methodology from the actual professors working in the situation of online, mostly from our university, but not only. Besides, we created special kind of lecture halls equipped with the video recording and transmitting devices and respective software, which led simultaneously lecturing online and automatic recording. And all the material is stored and could be used afterwards. We created the new platform, which contains the parts of courses, small parts like 1 minute, 10 minutes, whatever you want, that could be reused by other professors if they're interested in that particular part. Now we are creating the financial framework for this, because we only now have the library, and the financial part of how these authors' courses could be used, or parts, is being developed. And the Odin LMS system, which is developed with our university as a partner, is also quite promising, I would say. But what I would like you to concentrate upon more is absolutely terrific and promising program of the digital mathematics, yes, adaptive course, which is especially created to help those with not too developed calculative skills. It is not a secret that the bulk of the students graduating from high schools are not very well doing in mathematics. At some departments and some faculties from the STEM block, we have more than half of dropouts. And at some faculties, we have only 5% graduating actually. And one of the reasons is bad command of mathematical skills. So the program first evaluates a student's level, and then the algorithms of customized, personalized teaching, which is highly adaptive in terms of the speed, in terms of the content, in terms of the returns to the material that was not properly understood and the student did not have the command and didn't develop it. So it could be used actually for all levels of mathematics, from the simple things that has to be learned at school to high mathematics, which we are developing right now and almost finished. We probably will be over with this by the beginning of our next academic year. And here is the list of the programs that we offer, undergrad and graduate programs. We did not include all because it was irrelevant for the topic of our conference. And you can see here that actually you can join them. And besides regular full-size programs, we have a number of summer and winter schools. And if you're interested in particular winter or summer schools in some subject area, we also could do this quite fast and efficiently. And in the end, I would like you to see the opinion of our university and the university environment from our students from Zambia. And I do invite the colleagues from the universities from Zambia, from STEM schools, to communicate with us. The Russian Center of Science and Culture in Lusaka will have my contacts. I'm quite open and very much willing to have your students here and to equip them with all the best knowledge we do have. Of course, there are other things that are good about Tomsk. We are the only college town in Russia. We have 6 state federally supported universities, and about 1/3 of our population, which is totally about 500,000, so about 150, 180, are more somehow associated with the universities, either employees of the universities or family members of students. The student body is about 70,000, and we have students from 67 nations. And what is important here, the city is very safe. From the 1991, we did not have any single accident with foreign students. And we are 3 times as cheap as comparing to Moscow and St. Petersburg. This, the living and the education, the tuition fees are also quite modest. Well, thank you for your attention. I'm here. You can write me in the chat. I will answer. And if you need my contacts, they are in the center. Thank you, dear colleagues.
Thank you, Professor. We're happy to see Valia on the screen. So Mr. Mabulov, who is working in Russian Cultural Center much longer than me, I recognize that she was our student, so she finished the Russian language and Russian culture courses of Russian House in Lusaka. So it's good example how we can work together. And Professor, also I have one question for you. Do you think that Tomsk State University has a academic capacity to do teachers training to like one or some of STEM schools in Zambia, and maybe some other initiatives like Olympiad to find the best students who can manage to study in university and can apply and can be successful in this really like difficult and specific engineering and mathematics specialties?
Definitely, thank you for the question. We actually have teachers training tradition, not just courses or opportunities, but we have the whole faculty of pedagogics and psychology, and besides, we have the Institute of Distant Learning who offer respective courses, for instance, for the platforms that I demonstrated, for adaptive mathematics, for Russian as a foreign language, online, platform-oriented. So it's offline, online mixes, any length you want. Well, probably not any, not 2 weeks, but from semester and maybe a bit shorter. And we participate in the Open Doors Olympiad. And besides, some Russian centers do organize Olympiads of their own, like the time to study in Russia, in Vietnam, we always participated in that. And if you organize some kind of event like this, we will be the participants. So thank you for this question.
Thank you very much. So, and thank you to all speakers of our first panel. Again, so the target is very clear. Target of our discussion is very clear to first to meet each other, to find our common targets, and then build relations between schools and university, and maybe find another option, another formats of what we can do together and how we can do together. Now, let me ask you to come back in 15 minutes. Now we have 15 minutes break. And in 15 minutes, please come back because we will have ahead great panel about STEM applications. And we will discuss corporate practice, which supports STEM career, and also gender aspects of STEM. With 6 wonderful speakers. And after that, we will have common photo. You know, it is new tradition for online meetings when for 1 minute, everyone come with we start their video and we do this common picture in the end. So see you in 15 minutes on the same place in Lusaka. Thank you. So if you don't mind, we can start again. Let us know, please, if any of speakers need screen sharing. Natalia, do you need it?
Yes, I would like to show pieces of the corporate video with the participants of the roundtable.
Okay, okay. So we will start with your presentation. So let me share with you admin rights.
Yeah, thank you. So can I share the screen? I'm sharing.
Yeah, let me check. Let me check.
No, it seems that I cannot share the screen. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Mm-hmm. Let's try again.
Yes, please.
Okay, can you see it now?
Looks like we will see it in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are here.
So
sorry.
let me start.
Yes, but let me introduce you. So Natalia Prihodko, she's Deputy Head of External Communication Department of Salim Petroleum Development Company. And we start with Natalia's presentation, second session of our today's roundtable. And second session is focused on STEM applications and gender aspects of STEM. So Natalia, please, it's your 10 minutes.
Thank you, Janina. Dear participants of the roundtable, this is an honor for me to share our corporate STEM practices with you. I will start with the video, but will give you more details with my voice. So first of all, a couple of words about our company. Salim Petroleum is a joint venture set up in 1996 aimed to develop the Salim group of oil fields in Western Siberia. Company shareholders on 50-50 basis are the international concern Shell and Gazpromneft, the Russia's oil biggest company. So in the present day, fast-changing digital world, the role of the system of education and personal studying is going through different changes. Along with the traditional high school and university education, an entire market of digital remote studying system is actively emerging. With this global transformation in mind, it is important to ensure continuity throughout entire cycle of studying and developing young specialists, from creating of the proper attitude of children, teens and students to learning, knowledge gathering, to the way they are building relationship in their educational communities at school, design teams and university courses. You may ask, why should an oil company promote STEM education? Firstly, because exploration of oil and gas production are an industry that ensures the growth of all economic systems on the national and international scale. Secondly, because today the world economy is in the phase of transition to renewable energy sources. This means that traditional oil production should be more efficient, production costs per barrel should go down, and oil companies should be committed to reducing the environmental footprint. So oil companies are in need of technical experts of the new mindset, such as new generation geologists, drillers, engineers, chemists, big data analysts, and IT experts. Those may include your Zambian students as well. And their task will be to find new breakthrough solutions for production, economic, and environmental challenges, not only for local, but also for international companies. What can we do to turn present-day high school and university students into the drivers of large-scale transformation? We are, as a company, cooperating with universities. In Moscow, this is the Gubkin National University of Oil and Gas. And in Western Siberia, where the company's oil fields are located, is the Ugra State University. On a regular basis, our corporate experts read lectures and conduct master classes for the students of the major oil and gas universities of our country. The students receive the first-hand knowledge of new technologies in wells construction from our colleagues who are already using them in the Western Siberia. Students are learning directly from our industrial ecologists about the ways to reduce hothouse gas emissions. Students learn about chemical enhanced oil recovery methods from our geology and chemical experts who have successfully tested it in the oil field. It is the way they are not only receive the most recent knowledge, but also get an opportunity to ask questions and to develop their interest in the future occupations directly from our practical experts in these areas. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, when we could not hold meetings and training sessions offline, our experts conducted online trainings using Zoom and other remote technologies. So, dear colleagues, I will change the picture. So that was an opportunity to show you our diverse team, a team of our company. And next step will be to show you the rotation. Can you see it? Hello.
Okay, try again, please. It's not yet.
Just a moment. Share screen, share.
Okay.
Yeah, can you see
yes,
it?
Please go.
Just a moment. Together with the women influence community led by Janina Dobikovskaya, our company had held 2 STEM forums for the students of Moscow and Western Siberia. Holding STEM forums is an important part of developing a STEM ecosystem for our company. In 2020, we held such a forum for Moscow students, university students, on the venue of SAP. It is a software solution company. In earlier 2021, we held a STEM forum at the Ugra State University in the Western Siberia. Before the participants of the STEM forums, among other speakers, our colleague Anastasia Musorina, who is a senior engineer, artificial lift operations support. And there is one more girl, Yelena Shirishorina, who is a driller. She is completion and well intervention engineer. Our girls made presentations for the students, so they showed them their own STEM stories. Judging from girls' positions, you might have guessed that those are the STEM girls. They have shown an interest in technical disciplines since their childhood. They completed their studies at Russia's best oil and gas universities, and they were not afraid to start their careers in the tough male's world of the oil industry. These examples are not unique for our company. Today, Salim Petroleum has a large number of women working in traditional male professions. We have women geologists, seismic engineers, drilling experts, IT specialists, construction experts, chemists, specialists in the area of financial accounting, law, and public relations. However, one of the most persistent stereotypes of the oil industry is the gender stereotype. It says that oil production is strictly the male's job. By supporting STEM education for girls and young women, our company not only helped technically minded girls build their careers, but also make our team more diverse and competitive. Since the first days, our company has been developing on the basis of best practices of our shareholder companies, not only in the area of technical and business solutions, but also in the people, in the human resources management. And we created a unique corporate culture. Diversity and inclusion is one of the cultural principles of our company. Here is a page in Russian, so those who can read Russian can use this page. So what diversity means for us? It means that the company employees respect and value any and all of each other's individual differences, because these differences become the foundation for new groundbreaking ideas and solutions. Diversity means that colleagues learn to see these differences in all their diversity and transform them into potential for renewal. These differences can include age, gender, ethnicity, way of thinking, religion, social economical differences, physical and non-physical abilities and limitation. Inclusion means equal opportunities for all the employees, which is underpinned by the establishment in the company, a safe, positive environment in which we discover and accept our colleagues' differences and recognize their value. Sorry, one page back. The inclusive environment sets the foundation for the discovery of each employee's talents and potential, multiplying our combined opportunities. This is how employees' potential becomes the potential for the development of the whole company. With STEM education, we should realize that it is important to have not only the fundamental knowledge of science, technologies, maths, and engineering. It is important to have a worldview and soft skills that will help the present day school and university students turn into meaningful members of the team and become integrated. They will be able to send a message about the value of their ideas and innovative solutions. To help the future oilmen develop their communicative skills, Salim Petroleum implements the Skills of the Future program for university students. The program teaches the students the skills that will be useful in their nearest future, such as emotional intelligence, integrated problem solving, design thinking, teamwork, critical thinking, and analysis of the digital transformation trends. We are positive that the integration of technical competencies and soft skills of interpersonal communication will create a good balance and synergy effect to bring up the technical elite of the future. Because Salim Petroleum has the best practices with shareholder companies to implement its sustainable development program, we are able to engage Shell's STEM and soft skill experts with that program. Its name is N-Explorers, and in Russian it is translated like next generation explorers, so people who will explore the future. The N-Explorers program has been working at Shell for more than 3 years. It is implemented in 18 countries. And in March 2019, for the first time, this training program was held at Gubkin National University of Oil and Gas with the support of our company. The Ugra State University became Russia's second university to have held an Explorers program. There is
Very
one more.
difficult to interrupt you, but it's just 1 minute remaining.
Yeah, thank you. There is one more interesting experience shared by Shell. The name of this program is More Girls in Technical Position. It aims to support studying and career building for girls and women in technical jobs. Just a couple of words to finalize my speech. So you can also see, and I will send this presentation to Yanina, so you can learn more about our STEM forums in Russia. You can see also Zambian forum, which is also presented in our presentation. So we see that STEM ecosystem is already partly in place. We are involving universities and seeing their interest. We are promoting STEM together with a number of other companies. Obviously, it is important to have the school education at the basis of this ecosystem. Essentially, this is the foundation to create educational trajectories, paths, and personalities of the future STEM professionals. It is also important to continue the dialogue and exchange our best practices, in particular in such roundtables and STEM forum formats. And our next event in our STEM calendar will be the STEM Plus E Forum in October. Salim Petroleum and the Women Influence Community will hold this forum in the Moscow Institute of Steel and Alloys with the support of our partners. So you can see the announcement of our October forum. We will be happy to see you all online and offline at the forum. So please follow us at Facebook community. We'll add links to our chat box, and the name of our Facebook community is STEM in Russia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Natalia. And also this is a time to share also our plans here in Zambia, because in November we are going to do STEM plus E forum here. I see this today's roundtable is a big step to do both forums in a synergy in October in Moscow and in November in Lusaka. Thank you, Natalia. So it's really a great presentation, and now we see what level of diversity inclusion politics we have in the best companies in Russia. And we will have one more presentation ahead from Rosatom company, and we have 4 more Zambian speakers. I'm very happy that we have so many voices in this panel. And our next speaker is Miss Florence Mulenga, multi-award winning innovator in Zambia, and she represents also STEM Foundation. So Florence, please come ahead. Are you here?
Okay, thank you so much. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, very good. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. So my name is Florence Mlenga, and the title that I'm going to be talking about today is Gender Inclusive STEM Programs. But before I begin, I would like to thank everybody for giving me this opportunity to speak to you and just really creating this platform where we just all get to share ideas. So as I earlier introduced myself, my name is Florence Mlenga, and I am a student currently pursuing my bachelor's degree in pharmacy at the University of Zambia. And I'm also the programs officer for the Zambia National STEM Foundation. And aside from that as well, I am an innovator, an award-winning innovator. I've received a couple of awards in my country from the Pharmaceutical Society of Zambia, the Economics Association of Zambia, the National Youth Development Council, in partnership with the Ministry of Higher Education and Ministry of Youth and Sports. And also I've received awards from the Southern African Network for Biosciences. So, but then the question is, how did I get into STEM? Because I'm a student and people are telling me, how did you get all these awards? And you're a student, what makes you passionate about STEM? So my story just goes way back in high school, basically. I really wanted to actually do economics. I never wanted to do STEM because there was a stereotypical thought pattern added to it. Everybody just used to tell me, no, this is something for boys, you know, just go into something that's a little bit easier, something that you can manage. So in my mind, I grew up thinking that science was hard or science was difficult. So I just really never even had the interest to go into a STEM related path. But then luckily, as I was growing up in high school, I used to sit next to a friend who was so passionate about STEM. She was so passionate that each and every day we went to school, she would talk about science all the time. And I'm like, how are you not scared to pursue a STEM related career? And to be honest with you, I am speaking from experience. Most of the girls coming from my country are afraid to take on these STEM related careers because of the thought pattern that they grew up with, thinking that this is only for boys. So she started to inspire me, the way she used to talk about it and how passionate she was. And from then on, that really rubbed on me, and I just became really passionate about STEM as well, and decided, you know what, I'm going to give it a try, and I'm just going to conquer it. I'm going to conquer my fears. Like, we shouldn't always think that certain things are for boys, certain things are for girls. Like, we should learn to just conquer our fears and just go ahead and do our best. So I went into this STEM related path. But anyways, to talk about my friend, she's now doing law. She's a lawyer. That's the funny part. She's the one who inspired me to do STEM, but she's now doing law and she's a lawyer. So anyway, basically that's how I got into STEM. And this really just opened doors for me. When I went into university, I knew that and the path that I'm taking is going to be science-based. So I decided to do pharmacy because I was, you know how most people are interested in doing medicine to understand the disease. For me, I was mostly interested to understand the drug itself, the chemical composition, how it's made, how it's done. So I went into pharmacy, and when I did pharmacy, there was a time when in 2019, a girl came to speak to us, and she told us how she's doing these amazing things in science. And for me, to be honest, in Zambia, STEM it's more theoretical than practical. So to actually hear someone who's done extraordinary things in STEM in a more practical sense really just inspired me. So she talked about how she's won awards, she's traveled the world because of her practical solutions, and she started talking to us about how we can be a part of her journey. So she told us to sign up for a competition which was called FemBioBiz. Now, FemBioBiz is a national competition in Zambia where females come together to bring about science-related solutions to problems that are already existing in the society, and then just try to incorporate entrepreneurship into it. So we're supposed to think of the biosciences related solution and incorporate entrepreneurship into it. I was afraid to actually participate in this because it was for the whole country, and what were my chances of winning? So I decided to conquer my fears as usual, and I actually won the competition. So my idea was a scientific proposal to come up with a body spray that could prevent asthmatic patients from going into an asthmatic attack. And that proposal won awards like never before. And I never knew that it would take the world by storm. So from then on, my passion for STEM just kept on increasing and increasing, and my confidence just kept building up. But then that's the thing. We need to realize that for me to reach this far, there are people who are not as lucky as I was to encounter someone who was able to inspire them about STEM. There are people who've never even had the opportunity to hear about women doing extraordinary things in STEM. Today, I've heard people doing extraordinary things in STEM on this platform, but how many students are logged in onto this platform as we are speaking? Like, I'm one of the few lucky students who've been given an opportunity to actually speak and to actually attend this program. So how many more people need to listen to these things? So anyways, let me get to the challenges as to why we still haven't achieved this gender inclusiveness when it comes to STEM. Number one, it's due to lack of role models. Like, these people these people who don't want to do STEM, it's not that they don't want to pursue STEM related careers. It's the fact that they do want to pursue it, but then they just don't have a role model to actually inspire them and encourage them and tell them that they can do anything they set their mind to. So for me, my proposal to this is that we need platforms where these young people are actually talked to about what they can do in STEM. They can be inspired by people who've already done it. I mean, there are people on this platform who've done big things in STEM. If we can use such influence, if we can use such inspirational stories to talk to young people at a very young age, because passion starts at a young age. It's rare for you to become passionate about something in an older stage. So we need to talk to these young people at a very young stage and just encourage them and let them know that, you know, it's possible to achieve these things. We need to talk to them about the journey, the challenges, because it may seem rosy as well. And when they go into it, they actually fail at it because they haven't been taught about the challenges. So if we can have platforms where you speak to them about the challenges and the ups and downs and how they can overcome these challenges, then these girls are really good to go. Okay, I'm focusing on girls mostly because let's face the fact, most girls are scared to go into these STEM related careers. So in as much as this is supposed to be a gender inclusive topic, I'm going to focus on girls because really, there's really that gap that we need to fix. Then the other thing I'm going to talk about is lack of innovative programs. If I could have,
sorry for interrupting, but first we would like to see your face, at least for 1 minute. We are very much inspired by you already. You're already a role model for many, many girls. So second, you are invited to have a speech in our November forum here in Lusaka, and maybe you can also join our award, STEM plus E award, which will be awarded in October in Moscow. But anyway, you have only 1 minute to finish, and then please show us your nice face.
All right, thank you so much. So when immediately I'm done, I'm going to switch on my camera. I find a place where I can just switch on my camera immediately. So thank you very, very much. I'm really honored that my story has actually gotten to inspire someone out there. So lack of role models, as I was saying, and then a lack of innovative programs. Trust me, if we could make science so interesting to the point that it's so practical and people can just bring out their ideas at a very young stage, they would be far in their STEM careers by the time they're getting to university. If I had innovative programs and platforms in high school. Right now, I wouldn't be, I think I would be bigger than where I am right now. But because I got to discover about these innovation programs in university, it really just makes you think that we need to bring this to the young people. Like, let's not doubt these young people. There are 12-year-olds who are able to code applications, they're able to design websites, and they're doing great things. But then again, that's just a very small population that's able to have access to such things. So let's infiltrate these high schools, these primary schools, and let them know that they can learn anything at a young age. They can do robotics, they can do coding. So let's create that platform for them. I don't know if it's happening in the Western world. I think it is happening, but here in Africa, honestly, people just think that coding and robotics and engineering, doing all those things are only done after university or after you get your master's. So we need to remove that, that imagination that they have and just create a platform for them to be innovative. Another thing is there's lack of practice. You learn something in class, but you don't do it in a practical way, like in a practical sense. We learned that you combine sodium and chlorine, you're going to get sodium chloride, but then we just learn it on paper. Like, why can't we be allowed to actually do it in the lab? So there are so many things that we really need to work on. We need to make STEM so practical to these young people so that by the time they're getting to university, their passion is off the roof. They're doing bigger things than they would have done if they didn't have these innovative programs. So I'm just here to encourage people on this platform who are doing really big things to reach out to these young people and provide innovative platforms for them to just bring out their ideas and just encourage them and let them know that you can do anything. And I would also like to encourage you to look us up because I'm also representing the Zambia National STEM Foundation. This is a platform that, this is an organization where they've given me an opportunity to actually see the challenges that our society is facing. And we are going to be hosting our first awareness STEM conference on the 24th and 25th of September. And we just want people to just be able to inspire these young people in them. Thank you so much. I really hope I was able to say things that are relatable to the people on this platform. Thank you very much. Let me try to switch on my camera.
Yes, please.
As advised.
So,
can you see me?
oh, yes, Florence, now we can see you. Thank you so much. And also please appear after when we will do the common photo. Thank you very much. We are really inspired by you, and let's do great things together. So next speaker will be Abel Tamba, Assistant Dean of Schools of Engineering from Copperbelt University. Do you need screen sharing, Ms. Tamba?
Hello, good afternoon. It's almost afternoon now.
Sorry. I thought that in this sorry, because I'm not very good with names. Okay, please, stage is yours for 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't think I need the sharing of the screen. I have my speech right before me here. Okay, as we are all aware in here, the STEM is a curriculum based on the idea of educating students in the 4 specific disciplines, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And all these have to be taught interdisciplinarily and applied rather than separately. In Zambia, I should mention that there are several industries which include agriculture, accounting, construction, engineering, etc. My experience in the university for the past 5 years is that we've been having great students do a lot of good projects. An example is in my classes when I'm teaching, I teach instrumentation, power systems, and others. We try to bring the practical aspect to the students rather than being theoretical. We make sure that the students, they have that practical aspect. For example, production of a deflection torque has not only to be taught theoretically, but for students to really appreciate it and apply it even in their daily lives. We make sure that they have that practical aspect. But the major challenge is applying the STEM in the industries. There has been not a very stable platform where engineering students can provide their experience. Even after they graduate, when they go into the industries, we find that the industries find challenges with our graduates. They have to sometimes be retrained intensively or a little bit, but that is a challenge which needs to be looked at. This can only be addressed if we were to create a platform where industry and universities can come together and share knowledge. Industries can share with universities on some aspects that they would like to be included in the curriculum, so that once a student has been produced from the industry, from the university, is going to be doing what the industry expects out of him. So that needs to be done. That platform needs to be created. There are platforms already existing, but they are more on curriculum development. Every year we produce students, and by the time the students are graduating, they have to do projects. And I must mention that there are very brilliant projects that have been produced by our students, and yet they don't go anywhere. They only end up in shelves. So we need to come up with a mechanism on how we can transfer this technology that has been developed, like new technology, when it is developed into the university, we take it to the industry. This is going to help and encourage students to be more innovative than they are right now, knowing that once their innovation is brought to the university can take it to the industry, and the innovation is going to see the light at the end of the day. And another thing that I have realized is that industries, the main industries in Zambia, mostly the mining industry, the petroleum industry, the time they are faced with challenges, they don't get to the universities to present those challenges so that they can be sorted out by the local universities. They would rather go outside the country, outsource the technology from outside the country, outsource the skills, outsource the manpower from outside the country, thereby disadvantaging the locals from learning or even participating in consultancies. So this has really made it has made it difficult to apply the STEM from the Zambian community into the Zambian industries. Consultants is very, very few, even members of staff from engineering and mathematical fraternity get to benefit from the consultancies that are available. So my encouragement to all of us is let's create an environment where we can meet, talk about consultancy, we talk about skills and knowledge transfer from universities into the industries and vice versa. Yeah, so basically, this is my little brief contribution that I wanted to make to this roundtable discussion that we are having.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Tamba. I hope also we can think how CBU University can be included in this project. How like knowledge exchange, experience exchange, maybe even students exchange can be managed between Russian universities and CBU. Thank you very much. And yeah, let's go to the next speaker. Let me introduce you, Anna Topolenko, Head of Department of 10X Company, Chairman of Career Guidelines Committee of the Foundation for the Association of Women in Nuclear Industry. Anna, please, 10 minutes is yours.
Thank you very much. Hello, can you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear.
I'm good. Thank you very much. I'm glad to welcome all participants on the round table. Let me introduce myself. My name is Anna Topolenko. I'm from Moscow, from Russia. I represent the Foundation for the Support and Development on Women's Initiatives, Association of Women in Nuclear Industry. Our Association of Women in Nuclear Industry is a communication platform for professional networking and businesses cooperation of women specialists and a resident of the territories where nuclear enterprises are located both in Russia and in the countries participating in the nuclear project, Turkey, Bangladesh, Kazakhstan, Belarus, Armenia, Egypt, and etc. The Association of Women in Nuclear Industry consists of more than 550 women specialists in the field of the use of nuclear energy. The goals of our association, the first formation within Russian of the professional sectors, female community and business cooperation in the nuclear industry. Second, creative tools to stimulate the professional development of women and broad involvement of the younger generation in order to increase the proportion of women working in the nuclear sector. Third, promotions of science and technical professionals among women and promoting the prestige of women's professionals in the nuclear industry as part of the Sustainable Development Goals, career guidance and mentoring of the younger generation. Fourth, development of international cooperation of women in the field of peaceful use of atomic energy. On the platform of our association, we do international meetings on professional topics, open dialogues with women leaders from various fields, training, social and voluntary action, and held on a regular basis. During the pandemic alone, we held more than 70 workshops, seminars, lectures, and online meetings on industry-specific professional topics, as well as women's health, professional and personal growth, self-development, business ethics, and international cooperation. In Russia, 2021 is declared in Year of Science and Technology. In this Year of Science, it's important to bring up STEM topics as well, especially the topics of women in science and technical environment, their development and support. According to sociological research, there is a gender imbalance in the field of natural science, technology, internet, engineer, and mathematics. It means in STEM, men 3 or 4 times more than women. According to statistics, almost half as many women are trained in physics and mathematics as men, 34% versus 66%. At the same time, the figures for university graduates are similar. In the fields of physics, mathematics, informational technology, the share of girls is about 20%. But even if girls are educated in STEM, they are much less likely to be in need, especially in math, physics, and engineering. Only 1 of 4 graduates of technical specific of universities get a job in this specialty. This is influenced by many factors, and now it is valuable to provide comprehensive support to girls and women in the fields of STEM. As stated earlier, our association conduct various initiatives aimed at the comprehensive support of girls and women in the fields of STEM. For example, this year on social networks, we launched the Women in STEM campaign under the hashtag I'm in STEM. where we invite everyone to participate and support the topic of female leadership in STEM. The purpose of this action is to tell a wide audience about women who work today in various sectors, or the economic and technical specific. The Women in STEM campaign, we demonstrate the potential of women specialists for technology companies and the development of industries. Also, June 26th in Russian opening city, as part of the action of the first international open dialogue Women in STEM took place to involve the younger generation in STEM. These events were held with the support of Technical Academic of Rosatom. The event was attended by international experts from the International Atomic Energy Agency, Russian experts, women scientists, female students of the branch of the National Research Nuclear University, MEFI. The events became a unique discussion platform for discussing the role and contribution of women professionals in science and technological progress, motivating female students to build a career in science and nuclear energy, as well as working out issues of mentoring support for young generation in STEM. Our association of women in nuclear industry maintain international partnership and take part in international events, such as at the end of 2020, the Global Impact Conference was held online. It was held under the auspice of 75th anniversary United Nations. It was devoted to the role of a person-centered approach in achieving balanced growth of the world economy. On the sidelines of the conference, our foundation, together with the Eurasian children's community, organized a dialogue between adult and young experts about motivation and meanings with choosing a future professional, discussed the important task of early career guidance and the focus of the science discipline in the field of STEM. It was the format of integrational dialogue with children. I would like to note in conclusion, women's leadership in high-tech industrial is integral to achieving sustainable development goals. And today, our association and communication platform as a motivating environment united women from various fields of activity, providing an opportunity for an open dialogue on topic social and professional issues, exchange of view and networking as part of the implementation of a common women's agenda in Russia. Our foundation carries out cooperation and joint project activities with Federation Council of the Russian Federation, Eurasia Women's Community, International Atomic Energy Agency, the Nuclear Energy Agency of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, State Corporation Rosatom, Information Center for Atomic Energy, Association Women in Energy, and other non-profit and commercial organizations. Our foundation is open to cooperation and implementation of joint international initiatives and projects. Thank you very much for attention. I will send in chat our contact information, our site and Instagram channel. Join us, we're glad to cooperate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you for your introduction of community. I really think that power of community in STEM initiative, STEM movement is we cannot underestimate it. It's power of community can do this huge work properly. Sometimes much better than like some government institutions. It's my personal opinion. We come to our two last speakers. They're men, and I'm so happy when I see men who support gender agenda and share it in a presentation. So let me invite with the speech, to render the speech, Mr. Neve Mulenia, because I know that Mr. Mulenia, he has a presentation to show, something to show us. And our final speaker will be Mr. Paul Shimba from Kasama Girls Secondary School. So, and Mr. Mulenia represents Siavonga STEM Secondary School. First secondary school we visited with delegation of Russian House with exhibition of education in Russia, and hope to do it in all STEM schools in Zambia. So please, Mr. Mulenia, it's your 10 minutes ahead. Hello? You can share the screen.
Are you able to get me now?
Yes, very good.
You are able to get me?
Yes, we hear you well.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great opportunity this afternoon to be given this opportunity to present something on the Gender Inclusive STEM program. May I begin by making to indicate to you that I'm at Siavonga Secondary School, which is a provincial STEM school. I am a teacher of chemistry by profession. I think I've shared this. I want to appreciate what Florence has mentioned. We share almost the same background. I came from a rural setup in terms of the primary school, the secondary school. When I started training as a primary school teacher. Who didn't think that one day I would be teaching chemistry at the secondary school? But later on, I decided to apply to do a diploma at Koseko by then. Later on, moved to University of Zambia, did a degree in chemistry, and later on, did a master's program at the University of Zambia. Having given that background, may I take this opportunity now to mention that STEM education is very, very important in Zambia. It embraces the subjects which have already been outlined: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. These subjects, therefore, share the common, have similarities in terms of their theory and also their practicing. Many countries in this 21st century have invested a lot in STEM, looking at the benefits that are there. So as a country, Zambia, we were privileged that the government of the Republic of Zambia also decided to embrace STEM education, which was launched in 2019 after the approval by Cabinet Office. Now, when it was approved, the National Science Center was chosen as an instrument or as a vehicle that was going to be used to spearhead STEM education. And at the time they were given this go-ahead, they decided they were given 52 schools that they were supposed to prioritize the STEM education. These were categorized as national STEM schools, provincial STEM schools, as well as district STEM schools. So what was realized is that after this, where the ministry gave a go-ahead for institutions that are offering a STEM program to allow the pupils use gadgets like smartphones, also use laptops, also use tablets. This has really motivated most of the learners. Now, from the inception of these STEM programs, what is coming to be realized is that the background has been, as Florence has mentioned, many girls were lagging behind in terms of having interest in STEM education subjects. But once of this STEM program or education that has been brought on board, quite a number of activities are being done to encourage the girls for them to participate in terms of STEM education. So as a school, when we, as I have mentioned here, for us, both the head and the deputy, who I am, the deputy here, we have a background of science. Both of us are in the chemistry department. When we came to this school, Siavonga Provincial School, we found that by then, what we used to call as pure sciences, there were only 3 candidates that were registered to write that. But with the background that we have had of science, we realized that we needed to do a lot. I can confirm to you that from 2018 up to 2020, where at least last year, we had 28 students, inclusive of girls and boys, that wrote science-related subjects. For us, which is a great achievement. So when we are talking about gender inclusive, we are looking at including the 2 male and the female. These are supposed to be brought on the board. When we bring the girls on the board in terms of also trying to appreciate the importance of learning mathematics, science, engineering, and also the aspect of this engineering, we make sure that these girls have to do a lot of things. So quite a number of things have been acting as a barrier. Now, one of the things that we have tried to do in order to encourage many girls to go into STEM education is to look at the aspect of gender equity. By gender equity, we are looking at treating the both girls and boys fairly in terms of the access to these subjects. Apart from that, we want to also appreciate what the government has done to increase the number of girls doing STEM education. At the selection point at grade 8 and 10 level, government has tried to lower the cutoff point for the girls so that the number of girls that are going into STEM education is also increased. So that is what has happened. As we talk about Siavonga now, and maybe representing other schools, we have almost a 50-50 situation in terms of girls and boys that are doing STEM subjects. And we must mention that for government, for Zambia, we are doing 4 programs or pathways that are including general STEM. We also have what we call design and technology. We have what we call HE and the hospitality. And also the other one that has to do with the general, that is general STEM, which is there, agriculture science. Now, all these 4 programs, girls and boys have got an opportunity to choose whether they are going to do general STEM, they are going to do agriculture science, they are going to do hospitality and tourism, or they are going to do design and technology. As for our Siavonga Provincial STEM School, we have gone into general STEM, hospitality and tourism, as well as design and technology. And when you look at the numbers of both girls and boys in these classes, we see that there is almost a 50-50%. Now, what have we done? What we have done is to do a number of things that were hindering the girls to be motivated to do these particular subjects. One of those has to do with the motivation. So we have created a number of platforms where we have invited people that are already in the industries, that are already working in government, that is the doctors, the nurses, those that are working in agriculture, and many other science-related jobs to come and speak to our girl children. So when they talk to them, they become a motivation unto them. And so they begin to realize that they are also capable of doing that. The other thing that we have done is to build what we call self-esteem. You know, when people have self-esteem, they are able to perceive and see themselves as capable of doing challenging subjects. That will motivate the learners also to begin to work hard. So as we combine, it's a multi-sectoral approach where you are looking at motivating, bringing the people that are already in employment. Of course, there are very few, and also bringing the aspect of talking to them, giving them hope that it is possible for them to achieve and do very well, compete favorably with the boys. So we see a number of girls getting motivated, more especially, as I already mentioned, that government has allowed these STEM schools to bring in gadgets that where pupils are allowed to research on their own. As we know that STEM education is more of student-centered. So teachers are there only to facilitate, while pupils are to do more of research. So government, with that approach now, what we have seen is that there is a lot of self-esteem that has been built into these learners. And so girls are able also to participate favorably. Then the other part is the issue of elimination of stereotyping. Now, in the past, what was there is that from the cultural point of view, society point of view, what was there is that there were certain subjects that were male dominated. These are engineering, these are issues to do with the mathematics, natural science, while the other subjects like social sciences, home economics, they were treated to be, those are for girls, where even as parents, they were bringing these children to particular schools. What they knew is that they cannot go into STEM-related subjects. So what we have tried as a school is that we are trying to eliminate the stereotyping approach, the part of thinking, so that these parents begin to talk to the parents, even as they are bringing to enroll their children. we talk to them so that they too can begin to talk to their children, understand that they are able to pass in these STEM-related subjects. So the stereotype aspect of it, I think we have tried to do that one, which has helped a lot in terms of increasing the enrollment of the girl child and also the boys in taking the science-related subjects, which are the STEM subjects. The other thing which I will also need to mention, which government and maybe the world at large is supposed to look at, is an aspect of lucky or inadequate role models, especially in the area of the female personnel. There are very few people in the past that were going into science-related, STEM-related programs, that is engineering, becoming doctors, becoming engineers, becoming technicians, when it is also in the way they were perceived. Mostly people or ladies would not want to go to do engineering. What they want to do is only to be in a course or to do a job where they'll be just seated in an office, without them going to the field to wear an overall, wear a gumboot, and so on. So we have tried to encourage ladies or girls in a situation that they too can manage. So what we are trying to also appeal to government is that even as they employ, even as they do a number of trainings, maybe sponsorship can be given more to the girls that want to aspire to do STEM-related jobs, so that that becomes, in the future, maybe in the years, 10 years to come, we are going to have quite a number of girls, women that will go into STEM programs. Now, what are the benefits? When you have these girls that are competing favorably with the boys, what we realize is that we will have a number of these girls that are going to be employed into STEM-related jobs, which are widely available in the society. Wherever you go in the country, there are a lot of opportunities for girls and boys to be employed in STEM-related jobs because of their being available. The next thing that we are seeing is that we are doing a lot of enhancing and promotion of human capacity development. So we promote and bring these pupils in the area of STEM education. We are going to do a lot of human development. So issues of importing or bringing people from outside in terms of specialized jobs, they are going to reduce with time. The next thing that I think the benefit is that we are trying to bridge, or governments are trying to bridge the gap that exists, which we may call gender gaps in terms of STEM programs. So that gap is being bridged, and at the end of the day, we are going to see a society that is going to look at all the job opportunities for both girls and girls to compete favorably. The another thing that comes in terms of the benefit is that when we train these girls and boys in STEM education, what we see is that there will be a lot of innovations. And this innovation will lead to new products and processes that are going to sustain the economies of this world. So we see that countries are going to develop. Generally, African countries have lagged behind because in the past, they have not invested a lot in STEM education. We are happy that our friends, our colleagues in the European countries, in America, and maybe Asian countries, they started very early in terms of investing in STEM education. However, we can still do or achieve what our friends have achieved if only governments, stakeholders are willing to come on board and put it in practice in terms of funding institutions. When I talk about institutions, it may start, as the Florence mentioned, starting from primary education, secondary education, tertiary education. If governments are able to fund these institutions, then we are going to be more practical in terms of teaching. Another appeal to the National Science Center is let them do a lot of retraining of teachers in schools that are offering STEM education, because that is another gap that we have identified, that in as much as the school government has allowed, but there's another aspect where the National Science Center, which has been mandated to spearhead STEM education, they need to do a lot of retraining to these teachers and slow the program, which is known as school-based professional development. That is going to help a lot. Otherwise, we want to thank you for giving us this opportunity. that we are able to present. And at the end of the day, by conclusion, we simply say gender inclusive is highly recommended because of its high benefits in terms of the individual and the country at large. This is seen in how many governments are highly investing in STEM education. So as a country, let us continue doing this. One day we are going to reach where our friends have reached. Thank you, and may God bless you. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Muley. It was very powerful, and we are so happy to hear that Siavonga STEM School is already so deep understanding of the whole environment of STEM education and STEM development. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And yeah, so I just write on our chat request to all participants who would like to be included in WhatsApp group for continuation of this format to share your WhatsApp numbers and emails here to do like next steps. And we come to our last speaker, Mr. Polchi Shimba from Kasama Girls Secondary School. And for Russian participants, I would like to enroll that, to stress that here in Zambia, there are still a lot of girls and boys, so separate gender schools. And there are some advantages and disadvantages of that. But for our Zambian colleagues, I can share that in Russia, there are no separate gender schools, so all schools are mixed. So it's interesting experience from Kasama Girls Secondary School. So Mr. Chishimba, please, your speech.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I don't know, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Okay, thank you. I would like to first start by thanking you for giving me this opportunity to make my presentation. It's a great honor. And I would like to share something, that's screen sharing. Hello, can you give me the right to share something on the screen?
Please try.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Like it was mentioned earlier, my name is Polchi Shimba. I'm a teacher at Kasama Girls Secondary School, which is a school for girls only in Kasama, that's the northern part of Zambia. I've been teaching there for 6 years now. So it's been a great experience working with the female learners and looking at the area topics we've had, talking about gender inclusiveness in relation to STEM. I can see that as a school, we've been doing tremendously well in STEM related subjects. And as there are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to sciences and girls, but working with girls, you'll find that they are as much capable as boys in handling any STEM subjects. But my presentation today is on the best practices in STEM careers. There are a lot of practices in STEM careers. I just picked out a few, which I will highlight. And when we talk about the best practices in STEMs, we are simply referring to the procedures and protocols that people in STEM careers do to allow them to perform their work much more effectively. You're very much aware that there are a lot of STEM careers out there, and each career has a certain approach to how they perform their work. But on a general perspective, there are certain things that we can collectively do that would make us work even much better. One of the things is critical and creative thinking. When it comes to critical and creative thinking, this involves the developing of different strategies towards solving problems by analyzing every possible solution and anticipating the consequences and outcomes of each option even before taking it. When we look at the challenges that we may be faced with, there are a lot of ways in which these can be handled. And with a critical and creative mind, it is actually easier to sort out a lot of problems. And it's not only about doing things in a trial and error way. No, every thought process should be carefully thought of before a person tries to implement that. And I believe that these critical and creative thinking would actually make STEM careers more effective in what they're doing. Then not only that, critical and creative thinking leads to innovation. Now, innovation is the creating and designing as well as producing solutions to real world problems. Having taught for 6 years, I have come to realize that our curriculum, that's at the secondary level, is not entirely responsive to the challenges that we are facing as a nation. And I feel with innovation in place, these things that we learn and our curriculum should be able to respond to the challenges that we are facing and ways in which our learners or people in careers can come and sort out these problems. Of course, this should be backed up by the use of the scientific method. And then there's also developing analytical skills. And these skills, once developed, they'll help us analyze and interpret data in order to draw meaningful conclusions. I heard from the previous speaker, I think it was a professor, if I'm not mistaken, he did mention that the mathematical packages that the university is actually using on a regular basis. And I feel people in STEM careers should make use of several programs that are available out there to help analyze the data, because we do work with different data, and it is only meaningful for us to draw conclusions from the data we work with. Then there's also collaboration, that's working with others towards achieving a shared goal. No person is an island. Therefore, we need to share our ideas with others. And when we share our ideas, we find that there are certain people who may even have better ideas or a better way of handling a certain task. And through collaboration, we'll find that we can effectively promote or carry out our tasks and our careers in a much more effective way. And collaboration in turn can be coupled with communication. Communication is yet another important practice in STEM careers. One should be able to effectively communicate their ideas. You may have an idea, but if you cannot communicate that idea, it's as good as not having the idea in the first place. So there's need to develop effective communication skills that will enable us to communicate our ideas to people who have the know-how, the technical know-how that is, and the people who do not understand what we are actually talking about. But with these effective communication skills, we can actually relay our ideas to others. Then there's another practice of adaptability. I did hear there was a certain sentiment about the industry as well as tertiary education being at different levels, in the sense that you'll find that what tertiary education in Zambia especially is addressing is different from what we find in the industry. And it is only with adaptability that would help us to have a meaningful impact, even as we transit from the tertiary level to actually performing our careers or practicing our careers in the industry. And the next best practice in STEM careers is effective time management. As you all know, that time is not always on our side, and tasks or targets should be completed within a stipulated time frame. It is always important to have a time frame in which we need to complete certain tasks. That will help us effectively do the things that we need to do in our careers. And I think I've come to the end of my very, very short presentation. That's what I had to share with all of you. And again, I'm Shimba. Thank you for your attention and listening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shimba. It's a good conclusion speech. And now we have 10 minutes for remarks, some additional opinions. So if somebody would like to add something important, please go ahead. You can just unmute yourself and share what you want to share. Okay, so in this case, let us, no, we have somebody, please go ahead.
Yeah. I took a bit long, I'm in the garden. My name is Leslie Nachula Lukama. First of all, a member of the Zambia National STEM Foundation for Lusaka province. I'm the chairperson. Then I'm also an educationist. I'm a teacher with the Ministry of Education, Lusaka province. I actually coordinate professional development for teachers in the province. So I'm really excited to be part of these discussions. And I'm taken back, especially when I think about the presentation that Mulenga made, Florence Mulenga made about providing role models for girls in the schools. And also what my colleagues in the two schools have presented, especially Siavonga. I actually had a question for them because I know that right now we're still trying to work around the STEM curriculum. I know that we were not able to give exams this year under STEM. We're still growing. We're still finding ways in which to establish ourselves. So my question was, how have they navigated the the provision of these electronic devices for girls, and especially for children that are coming from the vulnerable families? Because I know Siavonga is not really like a cosmopolitan district. I know it's a bit rural, so I know the kind of families that are there. So for me, because one of the things that is very vital in STEM education is that the children should be able to use the devices, so that the phones and the laptops and all, to be able to access most of the information that they need in their subjects. But I know that in some of the areas, especially in my province, I know that some of the children were not able to do that. So I'm thinking around this as an educationist and as a person that is really also trying to look for solutions to this. And our foundation, that is the Zambia National STEM Foundation, one of the things that we cherish is that we want to encourage the girls to come into STEM careers. So one of the things, again, that I picked from Mulenga's presentation is that we need more role models. If you were to take Mulenga around in the rural areas, they're looking at, oh, this is a Zambian girl and she's doing this. Wow, so I can also do it. So creating those kinds of dreams, in the girls, that is something that is, that can help us in Zambia to be able to just create that kind of platform and bring in more girls. I remember when I just started doing a professional development in the rural province of Northwestern Province, I had a very good supervisor, PO then, Mrs. Malama, and she used to take me around with her in the rural schools because of my background in science. And I would just talk to the girls even for 10 minutes to tell them, look, I went to the University of Zambia and did education, but I'm a teacher of physics. And they would be so happy, and they would say, so I can also be one of those teachers. So we are looking for people like that, for opportunities like that, and to be able to go to these children, because, well, the children that are privileged, they're getting a lot of this, through many platforms, because they're able to have that. But 70%, if not more, of the Zambian girls out there, they don't have these kinds of opportunities. So for me, that's really my struggle, the area in which I would really love to see how we can contribute. I know the foundation has plans to do that, but we need more partners to be able to go out there and be able to do that. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I also think it's one of the key opportunity we should build for supporting girls and generally STEM educators and STEM students. So we come to the end of our roundtable, and the last conclusion words will now share Alexander Anisimov, head of Russian House in Lusaka. And after that, please switch on your pictures or video, and we will do common photo. So Alexander Girevich, please.
Уважаемые коллеги, участники нашего мероприятия.
Dear colleagues and all participants of this event.
Я благодарю, что вы изыскали время, силы, и у вас есть такое желание участвовать в этом процессе. Это формирование добрых и деловых отношений между сообществом.
I'm glad that you found time to take part in this event. That's very key to cooperation in the promotion of STEM education.
И формирование сообщества, взаимодействия между российскими и замбийскими институциями, продвигающими STEM-образование.
And also this event is also important for the creation of like a community of between organizations in Russia and the organizations here in Zambia that are promoting STEM education.
И наша дискуссия, наше обсуждение, наша коммуникация позволила нам с вами понять, что это реально, что за этим будущее.
And our discussions have helped us understand that it's actually possible for us to work together in this direction.
Мы планируем в ноябре месяце провести STEM-форум в Замбии, в котором будет российско-замбийский форум в Замбии
We are planning
по STEM-образованию.
We are planning to organize a conference, a forum in November that will be called the Russia-Zambia STEM Forum here in Zambia.
И приглашаем вас участвовать в процессе подготовки.
And we invite you to participate in the preparation of this future event.
Спасибо за внимание. Успехов. Держим связь.
Thank you for your attention and all the best. And let's keep in touch.
Yes, thank you all. So please go ahead with switch on your video and photo, and let's do our remarkable historical photo. Кажется, сфоткались. Так, а я сделаю скрин здесь, Александр Гиревич.
Tie obligatory, or is it okay without tie?
Yes, please.
Okay.
It's okay to smile.
The host has disabled my video.
Oh.
And second page. Сделай second
I cannot show my video. Administrator switch off.
Sorry. Давай я сфоткаю. Okay, you are. Okay, we are a lot of people. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Спасибо, до свидания.
До свидания.
До свидания.
До свидания.
Счастливо, коллеги. Bye.
До свидания.
Bye.
Bye.
Twelve